What's up, people? Welcome back to the Pokemon PureRed Catch-em-all. Today, we have a bonus episode, because now that we have finished Nugget Bridge, we now have access to one of the most powerful Pokemon in the game and one of the most prolific glitches in Pokemon history. And so today, we're going to be getting not only one, but two different Mews. The way this glitch works, if you're unaware, is there's a trainer right here, where if you're able to pause at the correct frame, you can teleport away before the battle. And this sets up a number of conditions where, depending on the Pokemon that you defeat or fight in a battle, you are able to manipulate a random encounter, in this case being Mew. And so as I mentioned, there are two different Mews that you can get in this area in Route 24, and I'm going to be doing both of them. Now, am I going to use two Mews? Probably not. That would be a bit overkill, but it is a fun novelty to have nonetheless. In order to execute the glitch, what you need to do is kind of walk away. It's always better to make sure he's off your screen. And when you're ready, you want to walk down, and as soon as you get to that corner tile, you want to be hitting the menu. That way it pops up just like this, right? In this case, we're playing Pokemon PureRed, right? So we have this nifty item, the Pocket App. And so what we're able to do is we can go and warp to the last Pokemon Center. We're going to get the encounter notification. Before the fight even happens, we're teleported away. Now, there are two different trainers that you can fight here, but the one we're going to do first is here in Cerulean Gym. We're going to make it nice and easy for ourselves. So this guy's going to be up first. Splash. I'm first up, let's do it. Kind of fitting that he is our first trainer in this bonus episode. So this guy really isn't too much of a hassle, so it's just a matter of getting through him. Get level 19 on Ivysaur, Stun Spore. I think I want us to a Poison Powder. So this is the Pokemon that we're actually looking for, because defeating this Shelter will set up the conditions we need to get the first Mew. Let's go, one shot. Pidgeot gets level 22, continuing to be the team MVP. Now that that's out of the way, we are on our way to our first Mew. Now, I'm going to be using Ekans here, which might seem counterintuitive because it's a poison type, but I do want to hit it with a glare to make it easier to catch. And so you come up on Nugget Bridge, and you'll be stopped by the menu. When you back out, here's your random encounter. And here is Mew, level 7. Now, there are ways that you can manipulate the level that this Mew appears in, but I didn't really want to mess with that. That being said, get the glare off the bat, immediate paralysis, awesome. Get it to about half health. The fact that it has Psychic at level 7 too is kind of crazy. Ekans takes like almost half damage from that. And a special drop, that's fine. I'm going to be ballsy. Gonna throw out the Pokeball immediately, see if we get lucky. And we don't. I'm a little bit worried about trying to hit it a second time just because it's so fragile, especially with how leveled my team is. I could bring other Pokemon here, obviously, but I didn't set up for that. And this Mew's being stubborn. In a bunch of my different testing, I was actually able to get this in 1 or 2 balls. Obviously not when recording starts. And there we go. Mew was caught. So rare that it is still said to be a mirage by many experts. Only a few people have seen it worldwide. And obviously, Mew being legendary has a 500 base stat total and has all of its stats 100. So this thing is very much a powerhouse. One of my favorite memories about Mew, at least in these games, is an old friend of mine needed to get through these Gen 1 games so that he could have access to features in Pokemon Stadium. And I had a few days with nothing going on. And so I was like, yeah, I can beat the game for you. I basically just had a Mew with, I think, Psychic and Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, and Surf, and just destroy the entire game just because it was so powerful. Good times. And there we go. There's our first Mew caught. However, as I mentioned, there is a second opportunity to get Mew. Moving north here off of Nugget Bridge, the second way requires a little bit more setup. Basically, there's a trainer right up here. You can see him just above those 2 bushes. He has a Slowpoke in his party, which is going to set up for Mew. Now that we've beaten that guy, now we can perform the glitch again. Once again, we're going to approach this guy here. hit the Pokedabra, and now the glitch is set up. One thing that's interesting is that you notice that if you do this, you're not able to hit the menu again, at least until you enter a building or exit fight. There might be other conditions, but I don't remember exactly. And ultimately, we want to fight this guy here. Now, I found that you want to make him walk towards you, because for some reason, the game just glitches out if he doesn't. I don't know if that's a holdover from the OG games, or if it's something that is because of all the changes here. Either way, another fight that really shouldn't be too difficult. Although, immediately Goldeen gets crit, so that's cool. And obviously this is the Pokemon that we want to be fighting here. Just like with Shelter, defeating it will set up the Mew glitch, and we're good. We're going to teleport one more time. And here's Mew, number 2. So, same strategy as before. Let's see if we get better luck, though. Instant recover. Huh, do bite. Ooh, that was almost terrible. Let's see if we get a first try. Nope, that's too wishful thinking. Second time, though. Do we want a nickname? Obviously. What else will we name it? But Mew². And there we have it. We have 2 Mews now. You know, I don't plan on probably using it through the playthrough. I think it would probably break the game. It is still a really cool Pokemon, and I'm glad that the creator of this ROM hack kept the Mew glitch in. If you are playing even just regular Red and Blue, you can get it for yourself. Anyway, that's it for this bonus episode. So next time, we're going to be going up to Route 24, 25, seeing Bill, and finally beating up Misty. Till next time. I think if I hit it with a Smog, it should be enough to knock it down a little bit more. No!